should be like you, Melvin.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to your third edition with our faces this week. Last night may have been a fail, but we're back tonight. Hopefully, my co-host Malcolm Chiverton tonight is not going to have any gremlins. Welcome, Malcolm.
Yeah, hi Ollie, hi everybody. Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, rebooted the router, so hopefully everything should be okay.
Excellent. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Watch this space.
Yeah. It might be a bit confusing for some viewers because it does say 7:15, but we are kicking off at the normal time of 7. So welcome everyone that's on board. Talk Fan TV, welcome. Nice to see you here this evening.
Good evening.
We are going to get straight into it because of 9 minutes yesterday where we didn't get into it. So without further ado, let's hit the lineups now because that's definitely something that you wanted to start with, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's best place to start, really, I would think.
Absolutely. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, obviously with Petrol, well, the back five basically picks itself.
It does.
Adams has got in the middle. Ryan Christie and Tavernier and Eva up front. Bearing in mind, Eva Nielsen was on the bench for the previous game. Yeah, decent lineup, to be honest with you. Can't complain. Brentford, pretty strong lineup for them too. I mean, they're decently fit. We know what they're about. Certainly have their class players and a lot of experience as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Jordan Henderson making an appearance, didn't he?
He's not my favourite player, to be honest with you. I did not, even when he was at Liverpool.
No.
I can't explain why, but yeah, I don't know.
Just one of those players. We've all got them, right? We've all got them.
Yeah. But obviously, he does bring that, that experience into the team.
Yeah.
You can't knock it, I suppose. The only disappointing thing, obviously, he went to Saudi, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
He
was still getting England time though while he was away.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's still performing at a good level.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly, when I look at their lineup, they do have their standout players. They bought Kelleher in from Liverpool, didn't they? In goal, which is a really smart move for them. In the centre at the back, Collins, Van der Berg, just steady players.
Yeah.
But they're very potent going forward, aren't they? We know Shardy scored a hat-trick against us at Brentford. Thiago up front.
Yeah.
Who's, having a really decent season. And we can't forget Dango either, can we?
And Ratara, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, and Jensen as well in midfield, so pretty decent lineup, to be honest here.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Game ended 0-0. I know a lot of people will be, again, some might be disappointed, right? But we've hit the magic number now, the big 4-0, which is a fantastic place to be. Going into the game, we haven't had the best results head-to-head against Brentford, really. They're like another West Ham for us a little bit, aren't they?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was fully expecting it to be similar, so I'm really happy with taking away a point. But look, take us through the first half, because Brentford started pretty sharp.
Yeah, we weren't exactly slow, but we come onto it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I thought our performance, not just first half, but over the 90, was a really decent turnout for us. Considering we've lacked a little bit in the previous games.
Yeah.
But they were certainly on the money for me. Slightly unfortunate, I would say. But once again, defense, solid defense, and kept Brentford at bay. Considering what firepower they do have. Yeah, bit of an odd one really to talk through. Yes, we had some chances. Tav hitting the woodwork twice, didn't he?
Right. Yeah.
And also the penalty that wasn't.
This is going to be an interesting talking point for us tonight, right? Because the last version of Cherry Slaps, we had another controversial penalty, and it'll be interesting to hear your points on this one compared to the last one. Was it a penalty, and was there enough of a touch on the Achilles?
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I was surprised watching the game that they showed it back so many times on TV, and I'm thinking, why do they keep repeating this? What should I be watching? Because it must have been minimal, the contact, but there must have been something there for them to keep showing it back.
Well, the commentator, I don't know if you had the English version on or the German version, but the English commentary, he was, I'll have to find out who it was, but he was astounded. He was so sure it was a penalty. And for the rest of the game, he kept bringing it up, even when there was other things that went against Bournemouth. And he was like, well, if we'd have pulled it back, then why wasn't that a penalty there? He was very sure that was a penalty on Tav.
Okay.
But I'm not so sure. I'm of the same viewpoint as you. I don't think it was a penalty. I don't know what all the uproar was about. I think it was a bloody good game of football, to be honest. It was a good watch. It was a really good watch.
It wasn't for a 0-0. It was.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think it was a penalty in my opinion. Obviously, anyone watching this back, please do let us know your opinions. But
I'll throw something else in. Whilst we're on the topic, I actually watched The Rest is Football today.
Oh yeah,
which is something on YouTube. For those that don't know it, it's with Gary Lineker, Mika Richards, and Alan Shearer.
Mm-hmm.
And Mika Richards brought this up, the penalty that wasn't given, because I think he must have been doing Match of the Day or whatever, and he said he cannot understand why it wasn't given. He said for him it was a stone cold penalty. So there's somebody that's in the know.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's really strange.
Yeah, I was really shocked to hear that coming from him, because they don't normally mention Bournemouth at all. But because part of the topic today was referees and VAR, amongst others. So that's why he brought it up.
Yeah,
but it's interesting to hear. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so look, Bournemouth had the better attacking intent, I'd say, but Brentford remained compact and disciplined, as you said. They struggled to get through our defence. We struggled to get through theirs. Tav had a few shots on target or hitting the post, at least hitting the woodwork first half and second half. It was kind of a game without goals, right?
Ryan Christie's effort.
Ryan,
away from him.
Yeah. And again, standing out for me are the same names, right? Alex Scott, Senesi, Trafford was Hill. did Jimenez. To be fair, our back four are really, really tight and really good at the minute. No complaints whatsoever from that side.
I wasn't even disappointed, even though it ended up 0-0. I wasn't disappointed. I was really pleased about the performance because the level had gone up again.
Yeah,
which is something that has fluctuated a bit. Certainly this year, where they've sort of dropped a bit, but then come on strong again.
Yeah.
Or even started again very, very slowly, and it's taken them quite a while to get into it.
Yeah,
but no, it was all right. Yeah.
So look, obviously, not too much to talk about in the game, and I know that we're going to go on to the Premier League after, but there's a couple of things that I did want to raise, and one of them we've kind of already discussed, but it's Tav. Now, are fans or leadership going to look at how he played as unlucky or wasteful from the shots that he could have netted and the opportunities that he had? Because he's now getting into these spots much more often, which is fantastic. Like we're seeing him perform better, be more goal hungry, play the ball more, be better with his vision. All of these things are getting better. But in that example against Brentford, should he have slotted one or two of those away with the chances he had?
Probably yes.
Yeah.
Very unlucky.
Unlucky. Okay.
Yeah, I would say. Wasteful, no.
Yeah.
Because it's very fine margins, isn't it? So, how can you say it's wasteful? You've had some pots at goal and you've hit the woodwork twice. So it's not really wasteful, is it? Because that's part of the target. You're only talking like a couple of centimeters the other way.
Yeah.
And in it goes. So no, not wasteful. And I'm really pleased actually to see the way he's actually come on again. I think he's very much the improved player. And just wish that he continues in his fine form, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to be one of these slower developers that we start to notice in the background. He's obviously a stable point of our team. As we've seen, he gets his position over many other players, right? At the moment, even with squad depth issues or rotation issues, Tav is usually in the squad if he's fit and healthy.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be other names that are maybe picked on as being developed quicker this season. Nessie's, James Hills, Jimenez has come a long way. Trafairs fit in really nicely. Alex Scott, obviously, main point.
Yeah, with Tav, I don't know if it's just me, but I think he plays better when Christie's on the field. They seem to have this sort of connection together.
Yeah.
It's just something I noticed, watching games. I think, maybe he's not on the ball, but then suddenly when Christie's on the ball, he's like another pair of eyes. It's not just his movement, his pace, his passing, but it's his vision, right across the field.
Yeah.
And they do seem to connect because he also his pace, because Christie is quite quick and nimble, isn't he? Even for his age. So, yeah, it's always good to see them both on the field together.
I think he's got more to give as well. He's got more to give and more to come, Christie, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the injury sort of set him back quite a while, and it did affect the team a little bit. But what an option to have there. Whether he starts or if he's on the bench, what he's going to bring when he comes on.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Next one I was talking about is draws. Obviously, clean sheets are better than nothing, right? It's always better to take a point home than take no points.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are draws becoming a bit of a pattern despite good performance? I guess is what I'm asking, and how why aren't we getting the 3 points when we should be getting them when we deserve them? I think this is going to be the question on people's lips. Is we could have been a lot higher than we are right now, or even on 47, 48 points if we look back over some of the games in the season, which would elevate us way higher in the table, right? But we seem to be pretty good at getting draws, and we've got 10 games now unbeaten, but I think 7 of them are draws. 9
games.
Yeah. So what's the answer to this? Is it more clinical goal scoring? We're playing bloody good performances. We're playing really good. Why aren't we bringing home 3 points? West Ham's, Brentford's, Sunderland's, Aston Villa.
Yeah. Fine margins, basically. I don't think you can actually, because obviously every game's different, isn't it? If you look at the games we've actually played, but what we've drawn in, certainly over the last, few weeks, why haven't we won these games? The opposition have defended very well. You've got to take that into consideration. But okay, we have to have the knowledge on how to break them down, maybe get through them, whatever. It's always two-sided. Little bit unfortunate. I'm not going to go down the road with, the ref didn't give us this or that, because that'll happen all the way through the season. And for us or for the opposition. So that just doesn't even come into the equation. Yeah, clinical. I think if we could be just that little bit, I don't know. It's the same with the Brentford game. If you look in that second half, now Brentford played the ball out from the back. All right, and I know Evan Nielsen was offside, but I don't think even he expected to have the ball turned over so quickly, and it was played straight up to him. So he didn't have a chance. There was somebody who actually made a comment on one of the posts about it, but he's an ever basher, and I just ignored it. I just thought, but it's such brilliant skill as well, to turn the defence the way he did and slot it away.
Yeah.
But it was a clear cut offside. So, and that's what I mean. So the players are going to be switched on.
Yeah.
Right now, if he could have foreseen we'd have turned the ball over quicker, then maybe he'd have jogged back instead of walking back. That he could have been then in an onside position.
Yeah.
And you're only talking about like 2 seconds, because that's all it is. You jog back when the defenders are walking out, you're going to pass them very quickly.
Yeah.
But I think
interesting take.
I think against Brentford, a few times we overplayed it. Certainly in the second half, where we had opportunities and just overplay it. Why make the extra run? Why not pass it? We used the width very well, to be honest with you, left and right. But some players keep the ball too long. That's not a negative, but I'm just thinking, come on, release it a bit quicker, and make the defending team make them work. But no grumbles at all. No grumbles at all. It's just one of those things. I mean, we can obviously go on to other teams shortly, and they would be more than happy to be in our position.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and you're right. I think that leads perfectly onto it. I think at Brentford, it was one of those nights, right? We played the better football, hitting the woodwork twice, as you said, probably denied a penalty. But Brentford defended brilliantly. And in the end, it was 0-0. It was a goalless game at the Vitality, which leaves us on 40 points and 9th in the table. Which we're going to... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, which we're going to come on to now. Just before we do that, I wanted to mention that we've obviously got Burnley on the 14th. Not this weekend because it's cup games, and then there's some Champions League. And next weekend we've got Burnley, and then on the 20th, I believe, we've got Man U at home. So 2 more games this month, possible 6 points. And we're currently sitting tidy at 9th on 40. Same as Fulham in 10th on 40, and Sunderland in 11th on 40. And after last night's game, Newcastle is 29th with 39, and Crystal Palace Newcastle 12th with 39, and Crystal Palace 13th with 38 after their 3-1 against Tottenham. Would you like to start there?
Do you want it?
I know you're dying. I know you are. So,
well, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just loving watching football. Now, it might not be, the classy football that maybe we've seen, 2, 3, 4 years ago. I'm just talking in general in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But having said that, if you look at the table, you look at the results this past week, and it's exciting, isn't it? You cannot predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the old saying goes, there's no easy games in the Premier League, and so it's proving, isn't it? So for those that are sitting around the 40-point mark and saying, thank goodness for that, we've secured our place for next season. Obviously above us, the title, is it gone yet? Or, I mean, that was a turn up, wasn't it? Forest getting a 2-2 draw at Man City, which is, I mean, I don't know if you saw it, I watched it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Beating Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, I got all the results down here, and
I wanted to mention because I think we mentioned it. I don't know if you went back and watched it. Did you go and see the save on the Newcastle?
I didn't actually. Newcastle mentioned.
Yeah, the 3-2 win that Everton beat Newcastle last weekend. I'm going to have to send you the save last minute from the Everton goalkeeper Pickford. And just an unbelievable save. It's one of the best things I've seen in a long time. So I'll have to send that over. But they beat United Tuesday night?
Yes, 2-1 with 10 men.
Wow, yeah. And that was an awesome winning goal, wasn't it? I can't remember the lad's name. He ran it from the defence all the way up the right-hand line. And then he took
Azula.
And yeah, that's it. And curled it with his left foot around the other centre back. It was an unbelievable goal. Yeah,
really good stuff. Interesting because obviously said, I love watching the rest of this football because they're professional ex-profies, and then they know the game. I know Alan Shearer obviously is a passionate Newcastle fan, but he said even with 10 men, he said they made Manchester United look very average. He said they weren't that good. But obviously they had a fight on their hands going down to 10.
Yeah.
And that was at the end of the first half. Coming to the end of the first half, they got players sent off, which apparently the second yellow was for simulation. Shouldn't have been given, apparently. But, it's just one of these things that referees, they give what they see, I guess. And obviously with the second yellow, VAR is not allowed to be involved, at least this season not. Watch this space. Well, I'm dreading it. I really am dreading next season with the new rule changes that they want to bring in. But nevertheless, come on. Chelsea thumped Villa 4-1.
Yeah, big result. Big result.
Wow. A Villa run out of legs?
I'm not sure. I mean, was it only a matter of time? I mean, they've been performing at a high level all of a sudden for what, 2 seasons now, 3 seasons?
Yeah, but I mean, this season, I mean, they're going so strong, weren't they? And consolidated 3rd place. And over the last couple of weeks, they sort of dropped off a bit. So a 4-1, at home, it's been disastrous, really. But once again, it's having not only Premier League football, FA Cup, and everything else. They got European football as well. So tough call, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's such an interesting table as well, because although we say that, they're still fourth on 51 points, the same as United.
Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
And there's almost a battle now. The top two, Arsenal and City, 67 and 60 points, and then a jump between United, Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Exactly that. So it looks like 5 places, doesn't it, for Champions League?
Yeah.
So the first 2, obviously, and then it's any 3 from 4.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. It really can.
Yeah, and then if we look a bit further ahead than the top 6, we look at the next 6. That's even more interesting, I've got to say.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's the difference of 6 points between Brentford in 7th and Crystal Palace in 13th.
Yeah.
And that is
and
just
9 games to go.
Yeah.
So whoever puts a little run together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to be easy for any of them because, like I said, anybody can beat anybody, and it's just one of those seasons where you're thinking, "Wow, come on!" I mean, before we go into all that, you got to take a look at the bottom of the table, all right, and then sort of think about how things are working out. West Ham winning 1-0 at Fulham. Now we know how West Ham are playing of late. You know, we drew 0-0 against them, where they just started picking up some sort of form. So for us to get a draw at the London Stadium was pretty decent. We weren't on our best form that day. The West Ham weren't bad, and they got some fight in them, even though they were bottom 3. Now you go back a month, and most people would have said West Ham are going down, and then suddenly, click, you know, they hit a bit of form. And away you go, a bit of belief, and that was a really telling result, because there was a point on Wednesday where West Ham were actually out of the bottom 3.
Oh, were they?
Because Notts Forest went 2-1 down and they swapped places, but obviously Forest got a second equaliser against City, and then that put them back up again. So it just shows you, and it can change so quick. So the next round of games is going to be really, really, interesting.
Again, just looking, Fulham got Forest, Burnley, Liverpool, Brentford, Villa. That's pretty. You'd like to expect they'd try and get maximum points out of those games, right? We look at Everton, a little bit harder their run. Arsenal, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, West Ham. Interesting. Bournemouth.
There's no gives, mate.
No, there isn't. We've got Burnley, United, and then Arsenal, Newcastle, Leeds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. It's very interesting. The thing is, anything can happen. I mean, as you said, Tottenham are on 28 points for relegation, depending on how the next round of games goes. And no one thought they'd see that, right?
So we got to talk about Tottenham, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it's dire straits, right? I'm struggling to see how they got to this situation, but
it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. And I thought that all of their problems were going to be alleviated when Levy sacked off and went off. Do you know what I mean? And I thought that was the problem. That was everything I'd heard from Tottenham fans forever. Was that guy was the problem, and then all of a sudden he's left, and
it's not though, is it?
It doesn't seem that way. No,
it's not. Yeah, I mean,
Levy. Yeah.
I mean, I do follow quite a few from the channels, and I mean, sometimes it's quite entertaining to listen to, some of the BS that comes out from some of these, so-called fans. But the real hardcore, those that actually love their club, they're behind them no matter what. But they're very, very knowledgeable people. it hurts to see them going through what they're going through because they live the club, and but it's from board level downwards. Now I'm actually mentioned, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. To me, it looks like the players are down tools, first of all, and that was before Thomas Frank got sacked because the performances were actually awful. Sorry, but they certainly weren't Premier League standard, and it's just carried on and carried on. Now, last night's game, they weren't that bad to start with, to be honest with you, and then even Dom Solanke put them one up.
Yeah,
which is rather, decent goal, and nicely set up from Andy Gray. Is Andy Gray, whatever his name, Gray, the young lad. He's only 19, their best player. But all the others, you just throw them in a bin, mate. They, for effort, it was just awful. And then the captain getting sent off. Archie Gray, sorry, mate. The captain getting sent off, giving away a penalty. The roof, he didn't hang around. He got the red card out almost straight away. I mean, he had a decent view of it. But I don't think Sarr was going to get the ball, to be honest with you. But a foul's a foul, and it's inside the box. He's, the going through on goal, and that's the law, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as a captain, a central defender, first of all, you don't let the player get in behind you like that, and then you certainly don't pull him back and put yourself in that position because you let the team down as well.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was all in stoppage time in the first half, and obviously Sarr scored the penalty, and then there was 2 more. Wharton, he had a brilliant game for Palace, really did. He just, everything he touched, it was just perfection. It was very majestic actually watching him play. It was really, really cool.
I bet it made it just that bit better for you because obviously it was against Tottenham, right? So
say again.
Obviously, it made it that little bit better for you because it was against Tottenham, right? So,
well, no, not really. It's just it was just one of those games where you're thinking, how's this going to pan out? Because the situation that Tottenham are in, and Crystal Palace have been sort of they had a decent sort of first half of the season. They took a bit of a dip, and then obviously they had the Conference League, Europa Conference League to contend with as well. Losing players that they lost in January, and obviously their manager saying he's leaving at the end of the season. So, but to go on a pitch and actually perform like he did last night, especially that first half, it was excellent. They took their foot off the gas in the second half because obviously they had the extra man. I mean, they let Tottenham come at them, but didn't really threaten. So it was an interesting watch. And when the third goal went in, sort of, I don't know, 2 minutes before half time, and seeing the fire drill at that massive stadium, the people just went out and said, "I've had enough, they're going home," which I find extremely crazy when you think, you pay 78 quid or whatever it is for a ticket, and you only watch half a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, it's like throwing money down the drain, isn't it?
Like anything can happen. Anything can happen in
Yeah.
game. So,
but it was quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. The whole setup around there, and obviously, today I did watch quite a bit of reaction from that. Whether Igor Tudor is going to stay or not, lots of fans want him out. And thinking, well, you wanted Ange out, you wanted Thomas Frank out, now you want this guy out. Who are you going to bring in?
Yeah,
I mean,
Harry will take the job. Yeah,
Harry Redknapp won't be going next week because he's at Cheltenham with his horses.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but I don't know. But they're in deep, deep trouble, and they've got Atletico Madrid next week in the Champions League. And the next league game is away to Liverpool, followed by the second leg in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. They ain't going to get anything out of any of them games at all.
No. And it's not going to be good news for them. There's another team in a very similar position, and it's the last one I want to talk about. It's Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Because it seems they've been thrown down the shitter a little bit because of their management and senior leadership, right? With the change of manager, a bit flippant in some of their decisions. I mean, now they've got still another 4 or 5 games this month compared to everyone else. It's looking tough for them as well.
I mean, if I'm going to ask you a direct question, who do you think is going to go down? Come on. Just put you on the spot now.
I'm going to say Wolves, Burnley, and Forest.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I think West Ham will somehow survive. And I think Tottenham will pull themselves out, annoyingly. And unfortunately for Forest and the Forest fans, because I like Forest as a team, I really do. But and they had every chance of staying up if they didn't make some critical mistakes this season. But yeah, unfortunately, I think they're gonna.
They're off field decisions, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with how the team is performing, and the team were performing. Let's be honest. In the last seasons they came into this season fairly strong, and then, some decisions were made, and it started to go downhill pretty quickly, which is a shame.
I think the 2-2 draw at Man City will do them more than good.
Yeah,
I think they'll kick on from that.
Yeah. So go on then. Who do you think is going down?
Wolves, Burnley, and Tottenham.
Wolves, Burnley, and Tottenham. You think Tottenham are gone?
Yeah. I think there is just so much wrong with Tottenham at the moment. I can't see them getting out of it. They're keeping the guy there at least until the first game against Atletico Madrid. They've lost Van de Ven for the next 3 games, whatever it is, because of the red card. Cheers. They've got an injury list longer than anybody would want to have. Players that they got players that really, I mean, I don't know. They don't wear the shirt and, for the badge. They don't play for the badge, mate. And it is just so sad.
Here's a question.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Right. So out of those 3 teams, Wolves, Burnley, and Tottenham, let's say they get relegated, all their players go up for sale. Who would be your first to try and grab for Bournemouth?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't grab any player from Burnley, Wolves, and Tottenham. You wouldn't think any of them would fit into the Bournemouth side.
I mean, first of all, I don't think any of them would leave. First of all, the ones that I would think of, obviously, I'd go for Mane from Wolves.
Yep.
Stuff. Exciting prospect. If I could, I would have Jadon Anthony back.
Interesting.
Burnley.
What about Brennan Johnson?
Brendan Johnson. He's now at Palace.
He's still Tottenham, isn't he?
No, he came on in the second half of Palace last night, and he got a stand.
Didn't
he
watch
got standing ovation, mate. So even the Tottenham fans cheered him when he came on.
Interesting. What about Richarlison?
No, get rid of him. I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't have Solanke back because he's too injury prone.
Fair.
There isn't a Tottenham player apart from Archie Gray, and I don't think he would leave Tottenham. I think he is their future. There isn't a Tottenham player I would want. Mercenaries, mate. They're mercenaries. Sorry.
Yeah, fair. Well, look, it instills confidence in the Bournemouth squad and where we're going, right? If there's not a Tottenham player alive that we'd take at the moment. So
There was some news that came up on social media this evening concerning Bournemouth.
Go on.
That I don't know where they get it from. Okay, it was the Bournemouth Echo. They put it up on social media that Tottenham are looking to take Thiago Pinto from.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if somebody paid them the money for the story or what. A clue. I would have nothing to do with working under that leadership that they got at Tottenham.
No, and I'll be honest, I think Thiago Pinto's got bigger dreams ahead of him as well than that.
Yeah, certainly has.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a role to fulfill with us anyway.
He has, yeah.
And just because, basically Tottenham have really messed up in all departments, and they have big time.
Yeah.
They think they can come and poach people from several different clubs, not only Bournemouth, to try and get themselves back to the level they want to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough said, really.
Yeah.
But really interesting, to see that pop up this evening on social media.
Yeah,
it did make me chuckle.
I can imagine. No football this weekend, unfortunately, for us as a squad. We are back on the 14th of March, I believe, against Burnley. However, there is a game that I do want to point out tomorrow, and that is the Wrexham-Chelsea game, which it'll be the first. No, I'm not going, but it's definitely something that's the talk of the town where I am. I know a lot of Wrexham fans, and a lot of them are very, very excited for this head-to-head. So, should be a good watch if you want.
Yes. I mean, there's a game coming up shortly, isn't there?
There is, yeah. What is that game?
Wolves, Liverpool.
I was trying to find it really quickly.
Right, you don't need to.
Is that what I said? FA Cup game. Yeah, interesting. Wolves have just beaten 2-1.
Yeah. I can't see the same thing happening.
Well, you'd like to think not, no, but I'd imagine Wolves are surely pushing harder for this than the Premier League. They must know that they're already pretty much out of the Prem. So if they can win the FA Cup or go for the FA Cup, they're going to get more money.
They're playing with freedom now, aren't they?
Hey?
They're playing with freedom. They've got no shackles around them now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I think might be good for them.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I believe keep your eyes open and your ears ready for a cherry picking next week, possibly. Aside from that, you won't see us now until the 16th of March, which is a week on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, which is really long. However, there is some exciting news coming in the coming months. So do get ready for that, because there is some big new events coming, and they're going to be super exciting, and you're going to love it. So for now, up the Cherries in all departments. Have a great weekend, whatever it is that you're doing, and until next time.
Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, up the Cherries.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.